For testing, let's go to our internet computer that's connected on our lab internet cloud, and let's access the web portal that was created with our SSL VPN solution. So we'll enter the WAN IP of our firewall. Okay, and here we will log in as a staff member, which is enabled for tunnel mode and with the web options. Next, we need to download the VPN Client, which is required if you want to use the client IPSec VPN solution. So we will download the client based on the supported operating system that we have. So we will select Windows right over here to download. I'm going to say save. And once that is downloaded, we no longer need to use this web portal again. Now we need to install that client on our computer. And there it is. Let's launch it and say run. So now it's starting the installer and downloading the necessary image from the FortiGate. Okay, and by default, it will start a virus cleaner or scanner on our computer, which is part of the VPN Client program. Let's go ahead and stop this, as we will cover that in a later topic. Let's close this up. Okay, now let's continue and let's start the install of the client. And we'll say upgrade, and now it is installing. Okay, we have a file that is in use, which is used in Firefox, which is still open. So we will have the install close this application automatically and continue with the installation. And now we are finished. So let's go ahead and click on finish. And let's go ahead and reboot our computer. When our computer returns, you will see a lot of activity right over here, such as components being downloaded, among other tasks that we will cover in the endpoint control video topic. So this will take a couple minutes, so we will wait until all this completes. For this video, we care about the client VPN part, and that option is listed here within the client application under remote access. Let's go there. So there we need to configure our VPN details, but first let's go ahead and do a continuous ping to our user computer before we do get started. Let's move it down here. Okay, and let's go ahead and set up that ping. Okay, so now let's go ahead and set up the client VPN. Okay, we will enter a user-friendly connection name for this profile. Okay, and for the remote gateway, let's enter the WAN IP of our FortiGate. And actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and enable this profile to use IPSec VPN instead of SSL VPN, which is right up here. And let's go ahead and finish entering the WAN IP that we will be connecting to. Okay, for the authentication method, it will be pre-shared, and let's enter the key that was defined earlier on our FortiGate, which was Cisco 123, I believe. Okay, and under advanced settings right over here, this will define the phase 1 and the phase 2 details that we can manually define, but the default settings is all that we need to do. So let's apply our changes. Okay, and let's close this up. And now let's go ahead and log in as a staff member. And say connect. And momentarily, okay, we're connected and our computer is pingable. So here it will show here at the bottom, and we can view the VPN statistics right here. Okay, and this will show the IP address assigned to us based on the pool that we defined, including the total bytes sent and received. We can also disconnect from our VPN from here as well. Furthermore, with two-factor authentication enabled, we can also test this as well. So we have our continuous ping running over here to our user computer, which is not reachable. We're not connected. And let's go ahead and log in using Duncan Rockwell, which is also enabled for two-factor authentication. And we'll say connect. And doing that, this will prompt us to enter the valid code, which will be this from our mobile token. And we'll say OK. And now we're connected and we are able to access our user computer. Let's go back to our firewall and we can view the details of our connected client IPSec users by going to the IPSec monitor section, which is right here. And there for the bottom listing, you will see our active client session, the status, the traffic usage, and the IP address we came from on our lab internet cloud. So very good information for validating who is connected using Client VPN into our environment. And that will conclude this video of how you can set up and use Client IPSec VPN to provide remote access instead of using SSL VPN.